Alright, so today we'll be doing one of the, what now? I mean myself. Okay, I think it's better now. Alright, so we'll be doing one of the assignments. Or is it the echo here? So this assignment is quite easy. So there's another tag I didn't mention. Why can't you just, it goes up itself. When did it start? So there's another tag I didn't make mention of though. So we're looking at that. So we call that the span tag. So the span tag is refers to as the inline tag. We'll be using it subsequently. Alright, so but let's move into this first. So I'll quickly do this and we'll move straight to one of the CSS layouts. Alright, so I've created my folder here and I called it profile card. Alright, so inside it I've added my picture there. Okay, and I've opened it on VS Code. So I have my picture here. So let's just start. This is not new. So I'll create my index, my HTML file, and also my CSS file, style.css. So here I'll just do this. And I'm going to change the title. I'll call this profile card. Alright, so I'm going to connect the external CSS to it. So I use my link, rel, style sheet. Make sure you spell your style sheet very well. Ref, then I'll use my style.css and I'll close the bracket. So like I said, I don't like to touch the body, so I'll create a div tag for the bigger container div, which is going to serve as this big one here. Okay, so I'm going to create another mini div inside it. So create my div. So for this one I'll give it a class name. I'll just call it container. Alright, and this smaller one I'll call it card container, whichever one you want to give it. Card container. Alright, so we are good to go. So let's start putting, let's see. Okay, let's add the CSS to it. That was what we are doing. So I can close this. I can put my CSS here. Alright, so the first thing I'll do is to remove the extra margin and padding from the body by doing body, then do M0, margin 0, and P0, padding 0. So remove all the extra margin and padding. I'm going to close this one here. Okay, so this container, like I said, is going to serve as a bigger container. So let's style it. I'm going to copy. Then because it's a class name, I'll do my dots, the class name, open my curly braces. Then I'm going to do a background color first. Background color, let's see the color. I think that's the black itself. So I can just give it black. Alright, so I don't think it's going to show because there's nothing there, no content. So I'll open with live server. So it's not going to show yet. Alright, so I'm going to put my height. Hopefully it shows. I will use body height. So I'll do my 100 VH. Alright, so let's check that. View height, like this height before you scroll. No, because I want to cover the old screen here. That's VH. VH is this view height, and I gave it 100 view because this is 100 total. Even your phone is 100 until you now scroll, it passes 100. I've explained this before. Yeah, so I gave it on. So we have our background color, so we know what we're working at. So let's move to the main container. This is the card container, which is carrying everything. So I'm going to copy this. So I'll do my dot because it's a class name, then my class name of my class. Then I'm going to give the background color first. Background color, which is going to be a lighter color. Okay, blue is even more brighter. Gray. Let's give it width. I'll give a width of 300 pixels, and height, I think it has more height of 350 pixels. Alright, so let's close this and check what we have. So you can see it says smaller. So let me increase it a bit. So I'm going to like 400. I think 400 is too much. Okay, let's do 350, and this 450. Why is this so small? Alright, so let's put at the center. Okay, let me increase it to 4. Then 5. So let's put at the center. So using our positioning, so position absolute. Alright, so we have the top 50%, left 50%, and the transform translator. Just press my tab. Transform translate. Yeah. Minus, so x and y minus 50 minus 15. You'll see that when we get to position itself. I explained this better. So let's see. So it's already at the center. I don't know why it's still small. Okay, I think I zoomed in. Oh, can you imagine? Thank you. Okay, so let me reduce that. Value 2. Let's do 2 and 3. Alright, so let's look at what we have. So we have is a little bit too lighter. I'm going to increase it, give it more black. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to put my, but first you can see the edges are curved. So I'll give that same container a curved image, and I think there's a box shadows on it, and also you can see the space inside padding. So let's do that. Still under my card container, I'll do my border radius. That's for the curves. Border radius, let's say 5 pixels. Padding, which is space inside, let's say 20 pixels for all sides. And let me go and get, let me do my box shadow. So for left, for horizontal and vertical, just give it little bit too. I'll do 3 pixels for horizontal, 3 pixels for vertical. Blurriness, okay, let's just say 5 pixels. Then the color, so we have what we call the RGB. You know what RGB is? Red, green, blue, and this A is called alpha. So it's the opacity. Okay, opacity is the how you can see it. If you increase the opacity, you'll be able to view it. But if you reduce the opacity, it will be getting fainted. All right. So it can come in decimal. You can have 0. So 0.5 is in the middle. 0.9 is close. 0.9 is close to. I'm using the zoom. Oh, okay. Yeah, she went out. Yeah. It's making sounds on my something here. Unless you give us your own in the other room. Okay. You're not giving us. So, so I'm going to use the RGBA. Alright, open my brackets. So we have this color. So I said 0.9 is closer to the darker side. If you do 0.2, it's closer to the faint side, alright? So that's how it works. So let me increase, let me add more white to this, just a little bit. If you guys understand. Alright, so you can see, we can add more black. Alright. So the next thing is to put what is inside. So we have the image, we have the title. Alright, so I'm going to put everything here inside their container. Okay, so I'm going to create a div, press my tab so it can be arranged, div tag for everything. So the next thing is my image tag. So the image tag has an attribute called source src, and I'll connect my image. What is the name of my image? Yeah, so myself.jpg. Okay, so I'm going to give this container that is holding that don't hold everything a class name. So I'll just give it title. Alright, so let's see how the image looks like. So the image, can I see the image is too big? So let me just reduce the image. So I'm going to call the name of my title. Let's just call the image because it's the image I want to reduce itself because so I'm not confused. There's only one image here though. So image, let's reduce the width. I'm going to use width, let's say 50 pixels, and height 50 pixels, and then border radius, yeah, 50%. All right, so let's see that. So we have this, nice. So image, the next one is, let's see, let's move it to the center. Image is an inline, so we have to make it block too. So title, this title class name here. All right, then you can do align items. So align items what center. Align item for my crop. So it's not gonna work here. So I need to set my image to be block. So display block or inline block, whichever one. Let's see. It does still work. So I'm gonna inspect image. Click here. If this one will use our margin photo. So let me try it here first before I put it on my code. So you know that anything you put here is gonna erase if you refresh the page. Hope you guys know. So margin, this is just for you to debug auto. So auto works, so I can just copy it here. So margin auto, but I can leave my right and up top and bottom to be 0 pixels. So 0 pixel for top and bottom, for left and right auto still works. Alright, so well, I think it needs more space at the top. So let's give it margin. Let's use the 4 values. Okay, so for the top, I'm going to give it like 15 pixels. How are you pressing your phone? 15 pixels for top, auto for right, 0 for, I think we've seen it for the bottom. So we can do 10 for bottom, then auto again for left. So that's complete. Just give us space. All right. So the next one is our title. We have the name Jessica Randall, then the paragraph, then so you can see that this one we have two paragraphs here. I can decide to use okay, I'll not use this font tag here. I decide to use the two paragraphs still and differentiate. So the next one is our P tag. And what is the P tag saying? Can somebody read it? Okay, long. Okay, is the title first. You didn't write the title, so I'm going to use H3 here. All right. So H3, which is a little bit smaller. I write my name. Then the P tag, location, London, United Kingdom. Write London too. So it should say it's London, United. There's another P tag there. So front-end developer and who are the who are they? So I'll just write P, then I'll call myself software software developer and machine learning. Let's put researcher. Alright, so let's deal with this first. So let's go back there. So we have this. I want mine to have this styling, so I can go and copy my Google fonts. So you have not using the Google fonts. Why? You don't need it now. How? Okay, that means the next assignment you have to use it. So this is it, how to use it now. I've gone to fonts.google.com. So there are fonts that you can use there. You can try to scroll and look at which one is okay, very pretty you want to use. So this one is pretty for me. Alright, so there is it's Montserrat, which I use. So this Montserrat. So I've clicked on it. What you just need to do is to just copy link. So click on get font. Alright, so it take you here. Then you click on get the embedded code. So you just want to place it in your HTML. See the better say it. Okay. Alright, so we have the link. So we have two methods. You just copy the link one. So this link one, you need to go and attach it to your HTML code inside the head tag. Alright, so I'll copy this. Just copy the code. Everything here, just copy it. Come here, go to your HTML, then just paste it there. Alright, try to arrange your code very well. Just know that you copy 3 lines of code from your Google Fonts. So when you are done, that one is probably enough. When you now want to use it, you can now copy this one. This is the main thing. Font family Montserrat sans serif. Just copy it. Then you put this on your CSS. So the first one is for your HTML, the second one is for your CSS, and that's all. Then you can go and put it in the body tag. Why am I putting it in the body tag? Because if I put it in the body tag, it's going to affect everything in that body. Alright. But sometimes all those text inside buttons might not be affected, so you have to repaste it there. That's just all. So let's see what we have. So you can see it's already there. Alright, so let's work on it. I did the title, it didn't affect everything. So I have to do it on each one. So this one is text align. So they wrote align items. People didn't tell me. That's why then. for that one. Text align. So let me comment this margin and see. Okay, that's it. So we're still right there. So this text align should work for the text inside, definitely. So let's work on each one. So we have the H3. So I can just copy the type, the parent tag, then the H3. So if the H3 want to style itself, I'm just calling the parent tag. Should in case we have other H3 in this code, alright? But you have to call the H3 when to style the H3. So let's reduce the text. So I'll do my font size. Let's say 15 pixels. Let's check that. So we have this. Give the color of white. Color white. Oh, this white is too bright. So let's add a little bit black. So put it like this. Let's check it. Alright, this is perfect. You can see the text is a little bit thick. So I'm going to reduce the font weight. So font weight, let's say 500. Let's say 500. This font weight doesn't have units, just the number itself. So you can see this is okay. But these letters are a little bit jam-packed. Yes. So we use what we call the letter spacing. So letter spacing helps you space the letters in that word. So letter spacing. So let's see 1.2 pixels. Let's see how it looks like. Alright, you can see let's give it space. Or let's use 1.1. It's not as jam-packed as what we saw it to be as. Okay. I think let's increase the white. Alright, we can also increase the font weight. Okay, I think this is okay. So the next one is this paragraph beneath. So you can see we have two paragraphs. I'm going to style them with their class name. So this particular one, the second one has color green or lemon. So I can just give the class name of lemon here. Lemon color. Alright, so I'll copy this. I'll be using this one to style the other one. So because it's a class name, I can do my dots this. Then I'll reduce the font size. This okay, so let's reduce it. I'll give it 10 pixels. Alright, so that's it. It's a little bit tiny. So I'll do 11 pixels. Then I'll do my color. Let's see lemon. So lemon there. So let's use line. Alright, this is fine, but it's a little bit far from it. So let's check if it is margin of pi that is giving that space there. Take here, I can see both as margin. So I'm going to reduce the margin for the H3 bottom and the margin for the paragraph top. So for the H3, I'll just do my margin 0 pixels. While this one margin I'll just call everything top. I can just give it like 5 pixels, 0 pixels. Might still come back to change this. The bottom 10 pixels, the left 0 pixels. Let's space that out. Alright, so let's see what we have. Alright, Which one? I didn't give it space. I think it's too big, so it just wrap itself. I didn't give it space, so it's because of it's too big, then it's wrapped. It just wrap with it. I know it's at the center already. So let's give the font weight for that paragraph. Let's say 600. All right. So the next one is the other paragraph. So I can just boldly call this P because I know I've started the other one. So font size. This one is a little bit. Okay, let's use the same thing. 11 pixels. So you can see it's even too much. I will reduce font much. How to make this? What else do I do? I just put statute. I think now is not short. Statute 4. Alright, so let's give it a color. This one is good. And there's a quote. What is that? And it's the margin. So let's inspect it. This space, Abby. Yes. Let's see the space that is there. So I'll click here. So you can see it's both from the lemon one and the other one. There's margin. This orange now. This is money increase it here. So that's the margin causing the space.
Don't want to use space.
So like I want to leave space. I want to increase it. Huh?
So now if I'm just like if I'm doing like this less than I should not just put space.
You put space and there's space
but
there.
But when I was doing that, I was just writing matching button, but it is I cannot give you the actual space of the.
Yeah, they don't need to give actual space now. Just space now. Any space.
Any space.
After the space is measurable. You can see this difference.
So now they have not given space.
And you know, paragraph is a block tag. It comes with its own margin, so it automatically comes with space, top and bottom. Are you watching it on your phone here? Are you watching it here?
I'm watching it here.
What are you not doing with your phone?
I'm watching my phone.
What are you doing with your phone? Should I report it to the director? Yeah, so why are you watching with your phone? So I'm going to give this 12 pixels. Alright. So that's for the other one button. Let's give it a color. Color. And let's use this color. Let's use green. But gray is not perfect. So let me add more whites to it by moving it up. Alright, so this is fine. The next one is this. So this one, like I said, you can use button here, you can use your anchor tag. So me, I'll just use my anchor tag. So how many anchor tags do we have there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So
I put anchor tag in button tag.
So that's a long journey. Okay. So you can style your anchor tag to look like a button.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you put a button tag and not put anchor tag, that's yeah, just using not long cut. Alright, so let's do the next one. So the div tag for all the anchor tags. We have 8 tags there. I mean we have like 5. A, close it. What is the first one there? I'll just duplicate it. So GitHub. So git up. And let me put my href then. Yes. Like I said, you can style your anchor tag to look like a button. You can style any tag to look like a button, eh?
I not put it like I just track my brain and so that.
Yeah, that's the thing. So let me duplicate this 5 times. So we have GitHub, we have LinkedIn. What else? Eh? Only added mine. Why do you put my front end? There's a link for front end mentor. That's what it means. So I will show you the site though.
I'll just copy link all around myself. I'll just copy link to my account, my Instagram, my Twitter.
It's not clickable. It was only front end mentor that was clickable.
Everything is clickable.
It's not click.
Everything is clickable.
Check it.
Everything is clickable.
It was only front end mentor that was
I'm
clickable.
sure what I did now. Let me go to my Twitter.
It will show you did better. You can show us now. So I'm going to give this div a class name. I'll call it links. Okay. So let's start it. So I'll call the parent container links, but I want to start the anchor tag itself. Okay. Let's see what we have though. So these are it is because anchor tags are inline. So these are going to be, so we're going to change the display from inline to block. So let's give it a color first to see what you're looking at it. Let's give it white. So you can see it because they are inline, they always come close to each other, stay close to each other. Unlike block, it just make them stuck on each other. So I'm going to convert my anchor tag to block using my display. So display, I can say block. Alright, let's check that. So you can see it's like this. So let's remove the underline using our text decoration. No. Alright, so that's gone. Let's reduce the font size. So font size, let's use 10 pixels. Let's see that. Okay. So let's add padding. Let's add padding first. Padding. Hope you're not going to stay too long. It's going to stay too long. Okay. Yeah?
How do you make it clickable?
Clickable like how?
It's clickable.
And you put the link inside now.
Why not put the link? Is it
And the href. You copy the link you want to put inside. Maybe you go.
You know, these are stand on button.
Let me see. I can't see. Bring it. Is it? We're going to off. Let me see.
Like I just open
Button.
and I just open button.
So that means your something cannot click. You can't put href. Okay. It's not gonna click because it's not anchor tag.
Like you want to put like put the anchor tag outside.
You remove the button and put anchor tag. But what Bolu did was it use button, then inside the button you use anchor tag. Which
so
is
now I'll just
too long.
Class.
Now use href for the anchor tag. Like what we did. If you want to make anything clickable, use anchor tag. That's just simple. If you use button tag, it won't click. It won't take you anywhere. It's not clickable. It's only front end that clicks. So padding, we are still starting padding. So let's do padding for top and bottom. So top and bottom we use 8 pixels. Left and right, let's use 16 pixels. Okay, let's see that. So we can't see something. Let's put a background color there. Background color. What color is there? Okay, it's a little bit lighter. So background color. Let's use the gray. So this is what we have. Guys have been able to style it. So let's put our, let's move the text to the center. Text align center. Alright, so you can just jump back. Let me use my margin to separate the text, the boxes. So margin for top and bottom, let's use 5 pixels. So the top and bottom we're working on, and left and right is 0 pixels. Okay, let's add more. Let's say 10. Alright, let's see this. So it has like border around it. Let's increase the padding of the container. Let's add more padding. So instead of 20, let's say 30. And let's add border radius. So border radius. Border radius 4 pixels. Let's see that. Alright, let's move this down. You can see it's touching up. Let's inspect first what is causing this. So I'll click here. Okay, still this anchor tag. I'm going to push my link down a bit because it's too close to the paragraph there. Okay, you can see it's on there, there's no space there. You can just, so I'm going to do a margin, just a margin top only. Margin top, let's say 20 pixels. Oh, that's for the anchor tag. I want for the div. So I'll cut it from here. So is it the links? So dot links. Okay, my curly braces and just margin top. Alright, let's add more. Let's say 40. It's too much. Let's do 30. Okay. Can you see? So let's add the hovering effects. Hovering effects. Ink mine is too light. This grey. Let me add more black. Oh, still black. Let's make it darker. Hopefully it's not much there. So let's add the open effect for the anchor tag. You can see I've been able to style my anchor tag to look like a button. So dot links, then a, then our studio class over. Then I can do the background color line. Okay, and the text. As the color of the text should change to black. Alright, so let's see that. You can increase the font weight of the text when I'm moving. So I can do font weight, I can make it 600. Yeah, and we are done. Any question? So if you can pull your link there, so let me go and get my link for LinkedIn. So LinkedIn. Did you search for my name? Bolu. But I didn't see that you checked my profile. So let me just copy this stuff. So I'm wasting time. So I'll copy that. This is an external link now. So why I push this hashtag means when I click on it, it should not take me anywhere. For now, I have my links for LinkedIn. I can just remove this, then paste it here. You can see it came with the HTTPS. Alright, so and I want it to, another thing, I want it to, when I click on it, it shouldn't load here like what you did. It should load on the next tab. So use your target blank there. So see, this is my href. I'll still add my targets so that it will not go and load on my main page. And I will do blank so that it will open on the next tab. while your page still remains. So I can click here, let me be sure, refresh. Click here, you can see open the next tab on my own is still here. So that's how you solve this. Any question? Nope.
Are you not in the United Kingdom?
Yeah, it says you speak forth good things, it shall come to pass. I think we should open account today later. So let's move to the CSS layout. Hey, oh, for them can see. So, like I said, what we've been doing is just normal styling. We are adding background color, adding background image. We are not really moving anything. We are not really structuring the page. One of it we used was the position, which we're able to pull the container to the center. Without the CSS layout, you cannot move any div or move any container or structure your web page. Okay, so I say we have 5 of them. One of it is the flex. Okay, we call it the flex box. Okay, the second one is the position. It's not like accordingly, but I'm just mentioning them. The second one is the position. I'm able to use positioning to always center our div. Okay, we have the grid. We look at the grid. We also have the table. We use the table when we are doing that omelette, when we use that table at the end. Alright, so some people also add it to the CSS layout. We have the float. So float is very old. Nobody uses float again. People that use float, I don't know. But if you know how to use your flex very well, you can, trust me, you can design any web page or web application. You see, this one that you are seeing here, you can be able to design it if you know how to use your flex very well. Even your grid, even your positioning. So that's what I'm going to be covering. And we've covered table already. So this 4, I'm going to be covering it in this class. So we are taking them one after the other, and the first one I'll be looking at is the flex box. So like I said, we have one of the resources we use here, which is the W3 school. I'm going to be using W3 school to explain to us. How many of us still go there to check, to read? So we are playing game. I said Farouk. Fawaz, what are you doing? Okay. So that when I give you an assignment and you are coming to ask me, see, I'm not going to answer anybody. I'm moving to a new topic now. Two of you carry phones. Two of you carry phones.
No, I want to open this new account.
And you do it after the class now. I think you're moving to Flexbox today. You want to open LinkedIn account during that class. What are you doing with your phone?
Nothing.
You are still lying. You went to church on Sunday.
No.
Okay. So Flexbox. So let me open it. So we're going to be doing, I'm going to first show you a practical first, then we'll do an example. So CSS Flexbox. All right. So CSS Flexbox is a shortcut for what we call the layout mode, the CSS layout. Yeah. So anything that has to do with layout, CSS layout, or the way you structure the web page, you have to pick one of them. One of these is the Flexbox. And under this flex box, we're going to be looking at responsiveness. Okay, so you need to pay good attention. Not today though, but that's another thing on its own. So you see under this flex box, we look at how to make your site responsive, how you can view it on your tab, it will look this way, how you can view it on your phone, how you can view it on your desktop, and it's arranged, it's probably structured. So you see under this flex, we'll look at it though, using the media query. So the first one is the layout model for arranging items horizontally or vertically within a container in a flexible and responsive way. Alright? So Flex will make it easy to design a flexible and responsive layout without using float. So even float is very difficult to use. So, but if you get this flex very well, trust me, you can. I'm saying it now, you can design anything on this internet. When they give like this, you say bring it, I'll solve it, just like my previous student. So anything you see online, you'll be able to do it. All right, so how does the flexbox works? So I'm going to use my mouth to explain this now. So One of the things you need to consider when using Flexbox is to first of all look at the template, or look at the design you want to do. Okay, so that will determine what you need to do next. So the first thing is to look at, okay, what am I going to do next? The other thing is to look at the items. Okay, look at the items inside that container you're working on, that you plan to work on. So these two things matter: the Flexbox container and also the flex item. But majorly, the Flexbox container is the one that carries everything. You can see this common example. You can see this header here. Without you styling the container, you'll not be able to do this. So the first is to look at, okay, what am I going to do next? And the next thing is to, okay, how many items are in this container before I apply my Flexbox to it? So when you're applying your Flexbox, you have to first of all consider the container. So you're going to apply this, like what you did, your position absolute. That thing like the position absolute, you're going to do it on the container. You know, we did on the container, just like this one too. You're going to apply it on the container. Then the items can come later. You might not probably start the item later on, but container is the one that carries everything. So how does it work? Like I said, before we look at the items, let me pick one example here. From this, let's look at this header. So I'm going to open this header. So look at this header. Okay, this header has a container that is holding this item. In this container now, there are three items. How do I know? Because one is here, one is far away here, and the other one is far away here, and you can see the space in between. So this is the container that is holding them. The next thing is to how many items also determines what are the other attributes, properties and attributes I want to apply on that container for you to start with. So the container, the items matter. Like this one, like I said, there are three items here. So that will determine, okay, if I'm using my display flex, I'm going to use, okay, justify content in this space between, space around, or whichever one. That one will determine. So the other thing is to consider the items. Like now there are three items now inside this space. Now I'll use justify content space between or space around. So how does it work? So like I said, there is a container holding this. So I'm going to create a div container. Okay, inside this div container, I'm going to create three separate div. One for this logo, one for this menu, and one for this. So we have three divs inside this main div. All right. So this container that is holding everything, I'm going to give it a class name. Maybe let's call it header. So I'll give it a class name called header. Then I'll go to my CSS. I'll do dot header. So the first thing I'm going to do is my display flex. That's the first thing that you need to do before you apply Flexbox. If you don't do display flex, if you do the other one, it will not work. Alright, so the first thing to do is to apply a display flex on the container.
Okay, if what is like starting medicine, the first thing that to style it is display flex.
Yes, display flex. That's the first thing you need to do on the container that is holding those items. Alright, so you go and do display flex. So what display flex does for you is to bring this, div are block tags. Normal, when you do this on your HTML, when you go to your browser, you see that the divs stack on each other. They are block tags. But when you now do your display flex will now bring them to the side, make them be on the same line. Okay, so display flex changes from block to inline. That's what display flex does. So that's the first thing. The next one is the justify content. So the justify content has like so many. We have the justify content center. So if you do justify content center, justify content is the movement on the horizontal pattern. How these items are moving horizontally. How they move like this, move like this, move like this, move like this, move like this. They are moving horizontally, alright? How this one move like this? They are just moving like this. They are not moving like this. So justify content is the movement like this, movement like this, movement like this. So when you do justify content center, everything moves to the center here. Or these three container moves to the center. So you have everything here. So that's justify content. You can see everything moves to the center. If you do justify content space between. So space between is this one will go to the end. Yeah, it will create space here. This one will be at the center. This one will be at there will be space here, and this one moves to the end. So that's space between. We have space justify content space between. Are you sleeping? Alright. The next one we have flex start. So when you do flex start, everything moves to the beginning. Flex end, everything moves to the end. And justify content space around. Space around. Okay, there's space here, space here, space here, space here.
To make this be in the middle,
Hmm? To make everything be at the middle.
Like no, for this, you know, I said like the beginning one now. And it's justify content center. For this end, you justify content end. What of the middle one? Like put it at the middle.
To bring everything at the middle, center now.
Center. No,
this one will always be at the center. Is that is the third one. You will do justify content center. This logo here, proper will come and meet it here at the center. This one here will come and meet it at the center.
So center is
this one now is space around because there's space here, space here, space here, space here. But space around, there's difference between space around. We also have space evenly. For the space around, the space that is here and the space that is here will be the same. And the space and here, space and here will be the same. That's space around. We also have space between. No, we see the how I'm going to do it. We also have space between. Space evenly. So the space evenly is the space here, there'll be all the space in between, there will be the same. So that's space evenly.
To put this public on, like in this, so I want to like
to bring Farrakhan where?
Like at the beginning. It just going to be the justify content of
space around. So when you do space around, it's space the three items. Like I said, it's considered you have to look at the items.
No, I'm not talking about like to put this one at the same like.
Sorry, no, this number called me this morning. Can you imagine? Their customer. Alright.
Yeah, like this thing here, like to put this at the beginning, like
to put everything at the beginning.
No, just one.
No, you can't do one. You look at that. I said you look at the items. How many items do you want to work on? Let me look at that. Let's look at another example here. Let's see another one. Let's look at this. So look at this header now. How many items are here? This header here. Bolu, how many items are there? 7. Why is it 7? Explain to me. Let me understand. Why are you crying? Sorry. You counted 7. But here, I don't understand you guys. But here, I said we have 3 items.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
How do you want to 3? I said 1, 2, 3.
I'm correct now.
1, 2, 3. So okay, why is this one 7?
No, I'm not counting it with the space like with the space there. I'm just counting.
There's just one space here though.
Just one space. That is 1, 2. If it's I'm counting with the word at the beginning. I'm not counting it with the space. Like
I said how many items are here?
It's 2, only 2.
You said 2, you said 3. Explain your own 2, explain your own 3.
If it's like as long as I'm not using what is called like we're not counting 1. Look at 1 at the beginning and 1 at the end. Log in and then start.
You have 2 here. If we say we have 3, if you do space between this one here to go and jump on the center here. So you have to put this together. So we have 2. And you can see the space here is just little. So we have 2 items here. 1, 2. Let's look at the main example. Let me explain. So I'm going to do so let me go and create my folder. Open my, let's create a new folder. I'll call this flex box. Alright, so what happened? Oh, you're gonna take drug. And you don't use glasses. Bye. So let's create our index. So index.html, and the other one star. Have you done? Have you added position? I'll do it now. When you do it, I'll work on it. I just wanted you to know that I've not touched them. Maybe now you cannot add it to it. But yeah, no, do position. Use position there. So now, which am I going to do now? Which am I going to do? No, leave you just change it to position. That was all on the container. And you see, you have to differentiate. There are two different colors there, but yours is just one brown. Why is it taking time? So let me close this other one that we did. So, like I said, when you're working with Flexible, you need to look at the items first before you consider, okay, which justifier I'm going to be using. So we stop at the justify content, and I said justify content is the movements on the horizontal pattern, how the items are moving like this. Okay, this one go like this one go like this one go like this, or there'll be space between. But align item is the vertical, how they move like this on the vertical patterns. Okay, how they move vertically. So when you do your, normally if you do your display flex, everything will come to the side, but they might not be vertically arranged. This one might go to the very top here. This one might be at the very bottom here. You can see this one is up, this one is bottom. You now use your align item to make them be on the same line. That's what align item does. Do you understand? So that three works together. Anytime you use your display, you usually use your justify and align item together. These three works together. All right. So that's for the container. And this thing, this thing I just mentioned, and display flex, justify content, align item, are supposed to be on the container, not the items. Okay, there's other special styling you can do on the item, which is the align self, justify self, and we also have what we call the flex wrap, low wrap. But the main thing is the container itself. You might not even use the item styling, your justify self, align self, and so on and so forth. Let's see if this thing has opened. All right, so it's open. Let's go left. So I'm going to call this the title Introduction to Flex. All right. So I'm going to use boxes this time. So I'm going to create a container for the boxes. So this div serve as the box container. So I'm going to give the class name called container. All right. So inside the container, I'm going to create, let's say 5 boxes. So I'm going to use the div because I'm going to style them with different color. I'm going to give them an ID, but I'll call this first one. I'll call it item 1. So the first box, I'm going to give it an ID called item 1 because I want to give them different color. But I'm going to give them the same class name because I might do a general styling for the 5 boxes. So I'll just give them item only. Then let me duplicate. So we can have 5 boxes. So we have 5 already. So I'll just change the ID name to ID item 2, for the third one item 3, this one item 4, the other one item 5. Then I'll change the name. This will be item 2, item 3, 4, and 5. So let's run this on our browser to see what we are working on. So open with live server. Alright, so we have this. So let's go and style the boxes. So let's connect our CSS. So open my bracket link. Then I'll do my rel style sheets. Okay, then href style dot css. Then I'll close my bracket so we can open our style here. Then we can close this. So let's start. The first thing I will do is to remove my extra margin and padding. So body M0, P0, padding 0. So I want to give them different color first. I'll come back to the container. So since they have different IDs, so I can like confidently give them different colors. So for the ID 1, how do you style your ID? How do you style ID? Hash. So hash, then item 1. So I can give this one a background color of what? Let's give this purple. Okay, so item. Yes. So this for item 1. So let's give others. I'm just going to duplicate this. So you have 5. So item 2, I will give this yellow. Space. Item 3, change the background to, let's say, blue. All right. Item 4, let's change the background to, what color again is this? Red. Then the last one, item 5, and change the background to green. So let's check it. So you can see how the div are, because they are block tag, they are. So let's make them to be in form of a box. All right. So because they have the same class name called item, I can just style one item. It affects all the whole 5. All right. So how do you style your class? Dot the class name. So let's give it width. Let's say 200 pixels. Let's make them even. The width and the height. So height to 200 pixels. Let's put a colon here. So let's see what we have. So you can see they are still stuck on each other. Yes. So you can see class. I give them the same class name called item. So when I style one item, it affects the whole 5. That's group styling for class name, right? But when I give them ID, because I want to give them different color. ID means unique now, so unique different colors for this. So I just use ID for this. Then I give them different class name and different colors. Why item? I can use for group styling. So I just called one of it. Then it affects all the 5 since I already attached the class name like this. Do you understand? So everything is already in a box shape. So now let's start our display flex. All right, so what you look at is, like I said, you look at the nearest container closer to the item. If you want to do your display flex here, don't go and put your display flex on the body here. No, the body is like the second, is far away from this item. It's the nearest div that you're going to apply your display flex on, which is the container here. All right, the nearest div.
What is the container? You don't style it.
I'm not going to style, I just give the class name. All right, so I'm going to copy this, which is the class name of the nearest div holding the items. So let's bring it at the top here. So I'll do my dot container name, class name, open my curly braces. So the first thing I say I'm going to do is what? So display, yes, display. This is very important. Don't do display flex. Other thing will not work. So display flex. This is the first thing. Alright, so let's go and check our browser. You can see everything comes up. So display first makes it for you easy for you to work on. So display first brings it from vertical to horizontal, then it be on the same line. Do you understand? It changes from block to inline for that particular container or those items in the container. So that's the first thing. The next thing is to justify content. So like I said, justify content is how these boxes are going to be moving like this horizontally on this same line though, but they'll be moving like this. Alright, that's for justify content. Why align item is how they'll be moving like this. Moving like this. If the container is like this, no, we didn't start the container, maybe it's full width or something. But if the container is full width, how this item will be moving like this, maybe everything will move like this, how they move like this, how they move like this, but they're moving together practically. That's for align item. But for justify content is how they move like this, move like this, move like this, move like this, move like this. Do you understand? So let's do the first one. So justify, let's be playing around with this. Justify content. You can see, you see we have so many. See how we have so many. So we have the center. Let's see center. Let's close it. So the center, can see everything moves to the center. Can see everything moves to the center. You don't have one item one hanging like this and the other on the side. Everything moves to the center. Are you sleeping both? Okay, sorry. I want to be sure. Or you take paracetamol. Alright, so everything moves to the center. The next one, let's see the other one. This. So we have end, or we can call it flex end. There's flex end there. So flex, yeah, flex end. So it's more preferred. So flex end, let's say flex end. You can see everything moves to the end. Alright, let's say flex start. So flex start, everything moves to how it was the first time. You can see everything moves like this. So we have what we call the space between, space around, space evenly. So where are they? So let's see the first one. See these three: space around, space between, space evenly. All right. So let's see space between first. All right. So see space between. The last one moves to the first one moves to the extreme end. The other last one moves to the extreme end, but there's space in between the boxes. This is space between. Most people use this one for header most time. It's very good for header though. So this is space between. Let's see space. I input tell me the difference. Let's see space around, yes. Space around. So see space around. The space here and the space here is the same. And the space in this one, the middle here, they are the same. So this space around. The outer space here and the outer space are different from the space here, but there's space around it. Do you understand? So let's see space evenly. Space evenly. So this one, all the spaces, can you see? All the spaces are the same. So it depends on what you want to do. All the spaces are, and this is. Yeah, but the one that is outside here is the same with the one here. But the inside one, they are the same. So this one and outside, they are different. Yes. This space is smaller compared to the one inside. So that's what. So this is space around. I think space evenly, all the spaces are the same. And you can see they're just moving horizontally. Nobody is coming down or something. So like I said, and this one serve as the items. If you see your header, maybe this one is the logo, this one is the menu, this one is something, this is how they're going to be moving. Yeah. No, we'll see to another example. So let's move to the align item. So when I forgot to add, when we do display flex, we also have what we call the flex direction. So most time we don't put the flex direction because by default the flex direction is always row. When you do display flex, it automatically comes to a row. Okay, so when the flex direction is row, the justified content is still the movement horizontally, and the align item is the movement vertically. But when this flex direction changes, so the reverse is the case, the justify content now works for the vertical and the align item now works for the row horizontal. And because display direction is row, so row is still like this now. Yeah, so we don't, sometimes it's tautology. So if we do column, let's put so we have other ones. We have row, reverse row. Let's see row reverse. Still row reverse, item 5 star, but it's still row, right? So we are still on row. I don't want you to get confused. Yes. Number 5 starts. Item 5 start now. Okay, you put this in. For the row reverse, you can see we start with item 5. So it start from now, right? So move here. So we have item row reverse, row, column reverse, column. So let's still put it on row, flex direction row. We'll look at column later. So but most time we don't repeat it, putting flex direction row, because automatically when you do your display flex, it automatically row. So that's like tutorial. So let's move to the next one, align items. So align items. So let's see align item center. So let's see. So it's not going to work because of, let me inspect it, because our container, we didn't put height for our container, so it's blocking it. It won't be able to move down. So let's inspect. So you can see our container is just stuck at that bottom side. That's just the content. Can you see my screen? You can see my screen here. So this is the container is just stuck here. But let's put height in the container. So let's use the view height here. So I can pull my height and I can do 100 VH. Alright, you can see it moves to the center. And if we inspect our container, you can see our container now is now full. You can be able to stretch. So you can see the movement. Hmm? To move the item vertically. So like what you did under your container, why you're able to perfectly position that container to the center, because you use display flex, justify content center, align item center. So if you use justify display flex, align item center, justify container center, it's going to automatically place that item, like that container I'm using for absolute, to the perfect center. Do you understand? So you see the same thing. So if you use justify content, if you use flex box, and if you also use position, you still get the same thing. So if you do like what we did, so justify content, let's change it to center, everything center. It still works perfectly. So you can see, and if you have a container here, you can easily style it. So this is align items center, justify content center. Let's see the other one for the align item. So align item, flex start. I see everything goes to the top. Align item, flex end. I say move to the bottom, so it's the movement vertically. But you can see the justify content, everything is at the center. I still maintain the center, but it's just moving like this. Alright, so this is when the flex direction is row. Yes, at the center. Align item, let's put it back to align item center. Alright, so this is it. So this is when the flex direction is row. Okay, so when the flex direction is, let's remove this. When the flex direction is column, reverse is the case. So let's see it. You can see column. I know we'll be giving this container width now. Everything must fit in like this. So when the flex direction is not moving, as I'm scrolling, it's not going to move because I already fit the container to 100 VH. So everything must be inside this 100 VH. Not going to move. You can see I'm trying to scroll, it's not scrolling. So when the flex direction is column, let's see justify content. So justify content, Let's see center. Let's see the center one. Let's center. So let's see align item first. Align. Let me comment this. We'll come back to this. So align items center. So this is, so it's just like you change the container. It's going to be moving like, so align item move like this. Why justify content move like this? So most time you might not always use the flex direction column. Is most time the flex direction row, but just so you know, so you just reverse it. So let's work on this example because of that. It's almost one. I want to rush this. Let's work on this.
That one I've heard before. When you style it out, is it at the main content?
Yes, I think I started. I didn't touch the item. Everything's on the content. I've not touched the item. So it's how the item moves. That was our matter.
Part of the former ones we did. Okay, you clean it.
Yeah, I said when the flex direction is column. Now this one is when the flex direction is, that one is flex direction is row. Now when the flex direction is column, I just use for this. So let's take a real situation or real world project. So now this one we have, like I did, we have 3 items and this is a container holding this. You can use this one as your image. You can get an image, a logo online, or you can use a text for this. I'll just probably use a text for this. And these are menu links, so these are going to be clickable. Yes. Like I'm going to attach links. So when something is clickable, you're going to put link there. Like this one now, a logo. When you want the logo to be clickable, you're going to enclose that logo with an anchor tag. Probably use an image there. So you're going to enclose that image with an anchor tag so that when they click on it, to take them to wherever what you want. So you also know that when you click a logo, it should always take you to the home page. Hope you guys know. So you're going to go home page. Hmm? Okay. Can you get to you? Is it getting to you? Alright. So, like I said, and these other parts, you can use buttons here. You can also use anchor tag here.
Button for the core.
Yeah.
Button for core.
No, they are together. So I'm going to, there's an icon here. So I'm going to teach you guys how to place an icon with a text close to it. So you might in a page you can use like 1,000 flex. No, that's too much. So you can use like 10 flex. You can use flex, 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 flex. Like this is that one that we. So this is flex. This is flex. So in a whole page like that, you can use flex all through. Even in the footer, you use flex there too. So that I think that flex is very important. All right. So later you guys do this later on. Alright, so let's start. I'm going to create my folder. So I'll call this, I think, pawn score, from score, for score. So I'll open with codes. Alright, so create our index.html, then create our style.css. So we can take out. It's loading. Still loading. So there are so many websites for icons, but I use the Iconify. So people use Font Awesome. Alright, so let's, why that one is loaded. So we've understood. You're going to look at the container, the item inside the container first. before you decide on what you're going to use for the justify content, or most especially. So you know that that's still on the container, but you can also style the item. Like I said, you can use the align self, justify self. So for example, let me show you an example. So you have this logo. Oh, let me see if I can get other um, um, example to show you the align self and justify self. Okay, let's see this one. No, everything is slow.
Please, want to see the common page? What is
Okay, I've cancelled it though, and I've on I've um, I've removed that other one. Isn't an okay, for this example now, you can see there are two header, but let's focus on this other one here. The first one, oh, really?
class now? This is one class that's worse.
I mean, they're open. So, still trying to log me in. Alright, let's get something. Yeah. Alright, so what was I saying? Looking at this now, you can see we have like two headers. One is the mini and the main one. Can you see my saying?
Yes. There are two that are.
They are together. This is like
The black one and the white one.
yes, but they are all headers though. So inside my header, I have like two divs. Alright, so you know divs are block tag. When you do divs, the other one come to the bottom. So for the first one now, we have how many items? Two items here. One, two. So on the container, you can just do your space between, and there will be space in between them. So this second one too, how many items are there? So we have one, two, three. So 1 to 3, you can do your space between or space around. You can see two space here. But another way to do this too, but I'll show you guys in the next class. Sorry, no get confused. So we have three items here. One, two, three. You can do your what? Display flex, justify content, space between or space around. Then this one comes to the end. This one stays at the middle. This one comes to the end.
Like this.
What is that?
Like this now. I'll just like this plot business and this. So I'll not style it and I put space between. So only this plot business will come here.
You are going to do, you go do your HTML first. You do your HTML first before you do the CSS because they are together.
Maybe they are together. I'll
Yes.
just space between. So now like the place would have known that okay, I'm going to arrange it like this.
Yeah.
Like just imagine like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so for this one now, this second one now, you create a div container. Inside a div container, you have other three divs inside: div 1, div 2, div 3. Inside div 1 there's a logo and maybe a two text there. This div 1 here, this div 1 here, div 1.
Okay, it's not showing.
Is it my scroll is not working? The logo is the div 1.
Yes.
The menu links, so we call this menu links, is a div 2. The button here, this purchase and this search bar is a div 3. Okay, and they are inside a container, this white box container. So on this white box container there, you go to your CSS and do display flex. Before you add your display flex, everything could have been like this one come bottom, this one come here, because they are blocked, so they stack on each other. So when you do your display flex, everything, these two come to the side.
Who's two?
The menu links container and this other one will come to the side, but they might not be arranged. Maybe this one might be at the top. Okay, this one might be at the maybe a bottom, but they might not be arranged like this. You can see the line perfectly aligned. They might not be aligned exactly. So
how will I make it aligned?
So use your display flex. So display flex to bring it to the side. That's the first thing. The next thing is justify content. So maybe I want two space here and I don't want space at the end. That's space between. So you do space between, it give it space here, give it space here, and no space here, that's space between. But space around, you give it little space here to be the same thing. But the space and the space here be the same thing. That's space around. Okay, so you can see that we have two options here: either justify content, space between, or space around. So the next one is the align item. So when you do your space between, this one there will be space here, but this one might still be at the top here. This one might still be at the bottom here. You now use your align item to make them align on the same line in this same container. Do you understand?
What of that black?
This one is another container on its own, so you can do it on its own.
Like we do that on its own.
Yes.
So, but what after is that, like after all this stuff here, we do space between the like base, so we know that okay, like
To know now. Yes.
Is it
There's no, you just step here. This is the browser to command to align.
it's running by itself?
Yes, you don't need to come and do special style. As far as you know that okay, there are three items here, and on the container that is holding these three items, when I do my justify content, when I'm doing display flex, they come up. Justify content space between those separate. That's how it works. As far as you put them in their responsible container. All right, so what was I saying? I've cancelled it. I thought I opened it again. So let me open that flex box. I think I have to undo. So let me change it back to flex. When the flex direction, I don't think it's going to work because I closed it. So when the flex direction is row and justify content, so you can snap it like this. It's almost one. Will soon be done. Hey, am I out? Or you didn't go there? Are you done? Okay, let me reduce. I'm going to snap the whole screen, so I'm going to minimize the screen. So like this. Alright, so we can take this out. Alright, so let's work on this. Alright, so I can do my this, and I'll call this font called header. Alright, so let's attach our external CSS. So I have my link, rel, style sheets, then my href, and style.css. Okay, then I would love to also get my icon, my Google font, because I know that this text here is looking different from the default. So I'll still use my Montserrat. So I think I already have it. I can just come here, get embedded code, then I'll copy this, and paste it here, and just put a Google for the comments in. And I paste it here. I'll arrange it. Okay, so let's go to our style. I'll bring this here. So I can close this. So I'll open my body tag. Oh, let's use the lowercase. So M0, then margin 0. So I can paste the other CSS styling. So this Montserrat font family, Montserrat sans serif.
Flex what? Flex this.
Display flex.
And here, that's flex.
Flex what? So we are good to go. So let's do the structure. Let's see what we are working with. You should remember the class. So this is the container that is holding them. I want to create my own separate container for that. So inside my body tag. So you can also differentiate it. Okay. Since I'm doing header, we also have other tags I talked about. We have the header tag, that's the HTML5. We also have the footer tag. It's just to make your code look more organized, so that when another developer sees your code, okay, know that okay, this part is for header. I'm working on only the footer. I won't go to this part. You understand? So they're not doing anything. They also serve as a container. So I can use my header tag here. Header. So now if you will get familiarized with other things I've not showed you guys on. So header tag, but I'm going to use the div tag for the parents container. So this div tag is not like going to be holding the items, but this header tag just to show that okay, I'm working on the header. Alright, I'm not going to do anything there. So I have how many items here? 3 items: div 1, div 2, and div 3. So let's create our divs inside. So I'll do my div 1, and inside my div 1 I have what we call I can use my h6 here for this text, but I know this h6 is going to be clickable, this logo here. If you go to any site, try to click on the logo, it will take you back to the home page. So I'm going to enclose this my h6 here with an anchor tag. Okay, so let's do my h6 first. H6. Alright, because sometimes it might be image, so now I'm still putting my h6 here still. So in h6, and I'll call it the font call. Is it in capital letter? I don't think so. It's in small. It's in capital letter, yeah. So, and I'm going to enclose my h6 with anchor tag, because I want when user click on it, it should take them back to the home page, the index page. So I'm going to cut this here. So tab here. So I'll put my href there. Href. So index page, that's the home page. I'll put my like this. So anytime I click on it, it's taken back to the home page. So we are done with the div 1. The next one is the div 2. So inside the div 2, yes, I just put the header there to show that I'm working with the header. So there's a tag called header too, but I'm not going to serve anything. Like I said, you work on the nearest container. So we won't be touching this header. It's this one that is holding the item that you're going to work on.
So you want to style it now. Is it the div?
Yeah, this div that is holding this div here, that was we're going to style, not this header. Like I said, you look at the div closer to the item. Don't go and look at the one that is far away, or else it will go and style the parent tag. So this second div now is holding what? This menu links. Okay, so I can decide to use anchor tag alone. Okay, because they are linked, and I can also use my listing tag. Then inside my listing tag, I can put my anchor tag. That's long method, but I'll still use it so that to show you how to remove your how to remove the those bullet points or the numbers there. So I'm going to be using the listing tag, then I'll still use my anchor tag inside, just like you use your button and the anchor tag. So UL for the another list, then I'll do my LIs. Then inside my LIs, then I'll do my anchor tag. I see the long method, but let's just use it. Okay. So we have what? Home. So this home too is also going to take us to the home page. So home, and the href here is going to take us to the index page. So index.html. So let's duplicate this. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have 4 there. Let's confirm. Yeah, 4. So we have our service, FAQ, frequently asked questions, and about. So since we don't have page for that, I can just put my hashtag there. It's not going to take us anywhere. Okay. Yes. So when you put hashtag there, when they click on it, it will not load. It will not take them anywhere. So just be there. So this second one is our service. Our service. The third is what? FAQ. And the last one is about. Alright, so let's see. We've not run this, so let's run in our browser. This is the second video. Open with live server. So we have this, and see they are stuck on each other because they are div tag. Can you see? So the last one is the I'm going to use buttons. Yeah. Yes, button. Yeah, phone number and this. So I'm going to use Iconify. Like I said, we have so many sites that gives you free icons, but the one I'm comfortable with is the Iconify. So people use font or something. People use bootstrap icons. There are so many.
Search the icon of the site online.
I use that image. You can also use an image, but icons is still better. You can put it in your code. So where is our icon? So search icons. I can search for phones.
What is the name of this icon?
Iconify. So phones. This one is very easy to use. So this is icons of phone here. Let's see the one we want to pick. Okay, this one does not have the tick one. Where is it? So I can just pick anyone. Let's just pick anyone. Let's pick this one. And this one it has advantage. You can even color it here if you want and take it to your page. Like this one now is color green. I don't want it to be color green. I want it to be color black. So you can color it yourself. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy it as now it's currently as PNG, but I want it to be in SVG format so that I can paste it in my HTML code. So SVG is also like a tag, but you can see all this make up this icon. So I can just copy it and put it in my code. But yes, everything here. Don't worry, we arrange it. But we've not yet created our buttons. We'll come back to that. So we have 2 buttons here. Let's create the div for that. So this is our second div. It stops here, so you need to be sure. Yeah.
How do you search for phone?
I'll just type phone on the search. I just type phone. So let me go back. Let's go. So this is where you take it to.
So is it this filter icon?
You search for phone there.
Okay, for filter icon.
No, you search it here.
Yeah, okay.
Up here. phone, though it took me back here though, but search for phones. And search for anything there. Just know out the words that you need to type. So let's go back to our code. We are done with the first div. This is the first div. This is the first div. This is the second div. Now let's put the third div there. Div. And this is my third div there as, let me see if it close. I'm going to be using buttons there. So the first button and the second button. Alright, so the second button, let's look at second button first. Second button just have register. You can also design your anchor tag, but let's just use button for this. So you can just put the text there, register. While the second one has an icon. Okay, like we are going to be using SVG for that. So SVG is also an icon and a tag. You can see SVG. I'll just copy this and go and paste it. Where is this place from? This iconify. Yeah, so go to docs. Click on it, docs, documentation page, DOCS. That's it. Oh, look at this. I can't see from there. So this is my first button. I'm going to paste the SVG. Then I'll arrange it very well. So we have this. Inside this my SVG, there's also a part over. That's fine. So this is how my SVG will look like. And inside my button, we also have a text there. I can't just leave my text hanging. Okay, so I might decide to use a tag there. I'm going to use the what tag should we use? I'm going to use, now let me introduce another tag for you called the span tag.
What is SVG?
It's just like a image. Is this scalar something? It's also a type of image. Sometimes we have the JPEG and all those ones. This one is also a type of image, but it's a, when you zoom in an SVG, it will not be blurry as other image. You notice that when you zoom in an SVG, so it's a more clear version of a type of image though. Okay, when you zoom, you can see the pixels there. But this one is more preferred than putting your image here.
So this I why is it not working?
I'll check it later. So this span tag, like I said, this and that tag I'm exposing you guys to is an inline tag. Okay. So have you seen a site that maybe the text there they are color white, but inside that text maybe it's the same hello words. Maybe they use H2 there, but that word has a separate color. Maybe the hello has white and the word has like yellow or some other colors, but they are the same tag. So this is when the span tag comes in. So you can put that word in a span tag and give it a different color. So inside that tag you have two different colors. So that's how it works. So this I'm going to introduce it here. So span tag, and let's put a number there. Let's just put a number there. Can't be calling this. So 818-567 is 896-455. Alright, let's see what we're working on. Yeah, so this is what we have. And see before we do the structure first. So now let's move to the CSS. Okay. So I can open this down. The next thing I'm going to give them class name. For the first div here that I have, I'm going to give the class name called let's say logo container. Alright. The second one here for the menu, I'm going to give the class name called menu. I didn't put in quotes. Whichever one. Menu container. All right. Yeah. And the third one, once you put in a container, class name called the button container. All right. So we're able to add class name to the divs. All right. So this is the container that is holding everything. This one here. See if I can close it, everything is inside. Can you see? So I'll go and add a class name to this div class, and I'll call it what should we call it? Let's call it header container. So you know this name, this class name called header container is different from this header tag. All right. So let's style the header container. Let's see the before. You can see how it looks like now. The div 1 is stuck on div 2 and div 2 is stuck on div 3. You can see they are arranged like that. They are stuck on each other because they are block tags. They've been enclosed with the div tags. Alright, so come to your CSS. I'm going to copy this if I'm not copy it. Then how do you start your class? Dot, then the class name. Open my curly braces. The first thing I'm going to do is my display. So display flex. So let's see that. You can see it comes to the side. Alright, so let's see this. Okay, so the next thing is I want to do my justify content. If I should do my, I can still put my flex direction rule, but it's like repeating yourself. Let's just put it there, flex direction, but it doesn't still, it's still rule though, because by default when you do display flex it automatically turns to row, but let's just put it there as the next one. Can you see it's still like that? The next one is the justify content. Looking at this template now, you can see there's a space here and space here, the same thing, and there's also a space and space here. So I think I'm going to use space around. So justify content, I'll do my space around. So you can see space here, space here is the same thing. Space here and space here is the same thing. But this my space outside here is too much. So I'll just use space between. Space between. Okay? So space between, but the space outside here, they are now is closed. But I just want little space. So I can either give the container padding, okay, or I can reduce the width. You know, by default now, you see this one, like you see that it's stretching to the container, to the end of the container. That means the width of this container is 100%. Do you agree?
Yes.
So let's do background colors so I can show you. So background color, let's use for a lighter color. Let's see. So you can see the container now is a full width. That's why it's occupying the full width. It's stretching to the extreme end. Okay, but we just need small space here and small space here. The next thing I'm going to do is to reduce the width. Alright, I'm going to reduce the width of this container. So width, let's say instead of 100%, I'm going to reduce it to 90%. Alright, so let's see it. You can see it reduced the width for me, but it's not at the center. Okay, I will now use what we call the margin auto. So margin auto for left and right. Alright, let's see that. So you can now see it at the center. So there's this space here, enough space here. So this header container now, the width has been reduced to 90%. But this header that is here is still 100%. This header tag here. Let's see it. I'm going to give it different color. So header. So let's give it a background color. Background color. Let's use red. Alright. So let's see it. Can you see? Oh. taking time at your side. So the header is full width. It's not showing. Okay, I think I'm logged out. Okay, I'm not logged out. I mean, so you can see the header is still 100%.
But why? Okay, this red now is under this
It's one that enclose. See the header here. It's one that is holding the header container. You can see the header container. The header is the grandparent of the header container, so it's still full width 100%. But you know this header container is the one that is inside. I reduce it to 90, so that's why you see that color there. So I just want to show you. So sometimes that you might have a background image and you don't want it to affect some part of section. You know how you're going to do it, though. We'll get to that.
Going to use how do you use for it again? Margin auto.
Yes, so we will reduce the width first from 100%, reduce it to like maybe 80 or 90. Then use your margin auto to bring it to the center. You understand? So let's remove all the colors we have there. So now we are good to go. So we've done justify content, space between. I want to do align item, but I'll see. Hold on, I'll not do it now. I'll show you guys later. So you can see this one is up. See what I'm saying? This button is up. This one is, we've not arranged this one yet though, but look at this. So you now use our align item to bring it, everything will now be aligned, but we'll not do that now. So let's work on each one. Okay, so let's work on this header first, this logo part. Okay, so what is the name of the container holding it? So that's the logo container. I'm going to pick it, but I want to style the h6 that is there, but I'm going to pick the parent container, then the h6 itself. But you know this anchor tag here is one that is giving it this text decoration. You can see there's an underline there.
Yes, yes.
It's because of the anchor tag. So let's remove it. So I'm going to put my a tag, then open my bracket, text decoration. Well, so text decoration none. Yeah, let's remove this for now. So let's see that. So you can see it's gone. I think it's color black. So let's use the color black and increase the, so color black, and let's increase the font size. Let's say 16 pixels. We did some magic here. Do you want us to go back or you will watch the video? Okay. Huh? Yeah, code. Alright, so I think there's something, let's increase it a bit. 20 pixels. Alright, I think this one is fine. Alright, so we are done with this part. Let's move to the other one. You know, here we use listing tag ul and li. So the ul is one that is giving this bullet points, you know that. So let's remove it. So I'm going to click here and let's go and restyle it there. So I'm going to copy this to show that I'm working with this part. And if you are copying the parent tag, it shows that okay, you are organized. So that when you're looking for it, it's not like, okay, this is the next one I worked on. But it's the UL I'm working on now. So I'm going to specify UL. So if you don't call your UL, you're not working on it at all. Probably you're working on the parent tag. So we have what we call the list style type. Okay, we've done it before. So list style type, we have none. So you remove that. List style type. So you can see it's gone. So The anchor, the listing tag is one that is, the listing tag, the li is a block tag, so that's why they are stuck on each other, and it's making the the anchor tag, which is supposed to be like this, to now be like this. So I'm going to change the li to inline. Okay, I'm going to change the li's to, instead of block tag, to inline. Or you can also use your display flex too. Yeah.
Can we use break in the HTML?
Break. Yes. No. Break does not make it professional. Break is for breaks to the next line now. It's already break here already. Yeah. So inline is to bring them to the side. Okay. So there are two methods here. Either you use your li, you convert your li from block tag to inline, or on this your ul here, you use your display flex. So there are two methods here. So if you use your display flex on the li, everything will become on the same line. You know what that will display flex to? Change from block to inline. So I will show you. So on the ul, I can use my display flex. So anytime you just need to change a block to like this, you use your display flex. More professional. So display flex. Alright. So you can see it's like this. Then I can use I'm not going to use justify content because it might scatter this thing, might spread this one here, spread this one here, spread this one here. I'll just use my align items. So align items.
The display flex.
Align items. Ouch. Align item. Let's use center. So align items to bring them to the center of that container. It's not at the center, so let's inspect. Okay, I've not done it on the main one, so probably UL. I use my display flex. So this is the first method. Let's try the other one. So I'm going to comment this out. So the second one is to convert your li. You know li is a block tag. Convert your block tag to inline. Okay, so let's use for the li. So we still want to do my dot menu container and li. So instead of display block, which is already display block, I want to change it to inline display. Can do my inline. Let's remove this or comment it. Okay, so let's see that too. So you can see it's still up. You can see it's still up. It's because I'm not yet aligned it yet. Okay, so let's just align the whole container. So I'm going to go back to my header container here. I've done my display flex direction rule, justify content space between. Then let's do our align items, then center. So can you see that the center now? And this one is already at the center. Can you now see that everything now is at the center of this container? But we need to start this too. Can you now see what the align item does?
Yes. So now it wants to take inside box. So we use border.
You want to put everything inside box? What box?
Yeah, it's inside a box.
And div now. Use div to what background?
You're talking about putting it in one single box. You don't know the same. Then we start the
Parents. You start the mirror now. You use border now. We use border. We don't use border now. See what I'm using. Header container. I did my display effects on the container. I did my effects.
And to be honest, like when it shows, it's inside one box like this.
It's just I sniped it now. Not that it's a box. I just cut it, screenshot, and I crop it.
Let me see.
Not that it's a box, so it's a full website. I just crop it. It's not that it's a separate box, so this is a full website. I just cropped the header and I saved it. So that to be like for your assignment. Oh, it's not showing your site.
Like this box, I'm talking about this box. It's inside. This box. It's not a box, but this thing that is inside. Is border.
The line around it.
Yeah.
Hey, that's border. The line around it is a border, and you can give it 1 pixel. This gray line, if you is it the green line that
type inside, like, is inside one container like this?
Yes, so that container is serve as the box for it. Am I confusing you? This one is a different way of doing it. So this one now, there'll be a main okay, let's say this one now, there'll be like a container. Inside this container, there'll be 2 divs. Div for the first header and the second div for the second header. Okay, so for the first header, they have 2 items there. You do your separate display flex there for the other one. For the first one, you do another display flex there for the second one. But they are still separate divs. So div has blocks, so they will definitely be on top of each other. You don't need to do any. Do you understand? All right. So let's just style this. Let's reduce the font so I can still use it on my. Let's give them space. So space, I'm going to use margin. Sometimes if you use padding, sometimes can shrink the text. So I'll just do everything instead of using my anchor tag. So I can do my font size. Oh, I didn't spell my size well. Font size, let's use 10 pixels. Oh, it's too small. Okay, let's use 15 pixels. It's too big. Let's use 13. This one is fine. So the underline that is there is the anchor tag, right? So you go and create your anchor tag for that and remove the anchor tag. So the menu container text decoration. Okay, that's helped up with that. I don't want to put my padding here.
If you remove this display inline, it's going to be.
Yes, going to be blocked back. So inline is like this.
That is magic for it.
Hmm?
That is magic for it.
No, that's not the magic. The magic for us, we move this to the center using our width and auto, margin auto, to move this header container to the center. While this our header still remain 100%, but this our header container is reduced to 90%, so that there will be space. Because when we did our space around, the space at the extreme end were much bigger than what we are working on or working with. So that was just all we did there. So let's space it. I'm going to do that here. I'm going to be using my margin. So margin just for the right and left. So top and bottom remain 0 pixels. Right and left, I'm going to do 10 pixels. So you can do that both in either on the li or the anchor tag. Text decoration on the anchor tag. Text decoration none. It removes the underline there.
So add space again.
Space I don't want to do it here. You can do it on the li, and I did margin for left and right. So the li is
Margin.
yes.
That is 0 and 10.
So 0 for top and bottom, 10 for left and right. I use 2 values for that. So if I should inspect on this, let's inspect, you see that there are margins left and right, but there's no top and bottom.
Yes.
See for each one, where's the li? Let me click on the li here. See the li, see the margin there, you can see that orange stuff there. I click on it.
I can't give it space again.
What space? I didn't give it space, I just give it margin, so it's spaced out. Yes, margin is space now, it's still space. So left and right space. Okay, let me remove it and put it back there. So I'm going to comment this so that I did, right? You can see that jump packed. So let me go and comment it back. Okay. So you understand now? So I did margin. I said I don't want to use padding because padding might also shrink the text, might compress the text, so I prefer to use margin for my spacing. So we are done with this. So I can add hovering effect there if I want to. So let's add the hovering effect. So I can duplicate this and add our pseudo class called the hover. Okay, then I can change the text decoration. Instead of none, I will want maybe overline. Let's say overline, and I will change the color. Let's use what color should we use? Let's use green just for this class. Okay, so let's come here. So if I should hover on it, you can see there's an overline on it, and the colors are changing to green. Okay, this is, if you want to, you can just show you can put an overline there. So we're done with this. So let's move to the button side. Alright, so we are almost done. So how does the button look like? Let's do this last one first, this register button. Alright, so these are the two buttons that are the same button, but I want to give them a class name. So I'll call this btn1. Call this btn1. And I'll call the second button btn2. So let's style btn2 first. And I gave this the parent container called button container, right? I want to copy this. So this. Let's see the styling. If I should do, okay. I'll do the same thing for them. So I'm gonna give them the same class name, I mean. So that I'll style them and I'll just give them different IDs. So ID, for ID, so I can call this btn1 and ID btn2. Alright, so let's style the button. So this my button here for this btn1. We'll come back to that. Let's style the button. So I could have just used, instead of putting class, I could have just called the button sector. I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that. So button, that's the class name here, the tags. You can see I just called the tags and I didn't put dot or something. Do you guys see it? This button, you can see I just called the button. So what is the styling attached to this? They don't have a background color, so let's remove that. So they don't have a background color. I'm going to remove that. So background color, can use white or transparent, whichever one. Alright, and you can see it didn't take the fonts family, so I have to go and specifically put it there. So copy this, then come and place it here. So hopefully it should work. So you can see it now. Let's reduce the size. You can see I'm doing it so that it's working for the both. I'm not have to separate it. That's why I'm just calling one of its font size. Let's see, 11 pixels since the other one is 12. Alright, let's remove the border. So border none, but you know the other one has border around it, so I want to start that one separately. Let's increase the size of the font. Let's still use 13. Alright, so the register name is called btn2, right? So I'll copy this and style it separately.
Yeah, you have both class and ID. How are you going to do it now?
No, I'm using only ID. You know, for the class they are the same. If I just use btn to affect the other ones, I'll just use the btn2 since btn1 does not have btn2. So hashtag give this, then I'll put border.
Yeah, can we use ordinary BTN2 instead of putting hash at the front?
It won't work now. You need to call your ID, you have to put the hash there. So border, let's use 1 pixel solid black. Okay, let's check that. So you can see it's there back. Let's give it space inside. So I use my padding. So I'll use 8 pixels for top and bottom. Let's use 16 pixels for left and right. Let's see how that goes. Okay, and it has a round edge, curved edge. So I can do my border radius. Let's say 20 if it's not too small. Okay, I think this is fine. So now let's work on this. So you can see that it's not showing that hand. I can, like as if I want to click on it like this. So I can put it there. Cursor, yeah. So cursor, pointer. That's it. Let's add a background color when I hover on it. So I can copy this, duplicate, and remove what is inside. Let's remove this. So me writing twice, and I can add a overcast, the studio class. Then I can, when I hover on it, it's going to give me a background color of that green. Okay, and the color should be white. So I have this, and here you can see I have this. Alright, so let's work on this. So you can see we have 2 tags inside btn1. So I can use my flex for that to make them be on the same line, align properly. So dot button container. So let's call btn1. If you don't call btn1, so it will go and work for these 2 buttons instead of this. You know, this btn1, it has 2 tags inside. I want them to be aligned. So I'll call my btn1, which is the ID for this first button. So that's the only thing that separates it from btn2. So btn1, I will do my display flex. Okay, then I'll just do only align items, then center. So let's see that. So you can see, but you can see it's now stuck on each other. So I need to go and do it on this button container to make them flex. This button container is one that is holding these 2 buttons. You can see they are now like column. I want them to be row. So I'll go and apply display flex on this container. So I'll copy this. Well, let's put it at the top. We're going to start it. So it is this. I'll do my display flex. Let's see that first. So you can see. Alright, I didn't open this one now, right? Okay, I'm by mistake to open it. Alright, so you can see. Let's give it space a bit. You can see the space here, so that's space outside. Can try to do it on maybe margin btn2 or btn1. So for btn1, I'll do margin right. For btn2, I'll do margin left. You know, I just want space. I just want space in between here. So for btn 1, I can do margin right. For btn 2, I can do margin left. So let's do that. Let's add 10 to there, so I'll make up 20 instead of doing it for only one. So for btn, let's start with btn 1. So btn 1, I'll do my margin. Let's do margin right. Margin right 10 pixels. Then for btn 2, margin left 10 pixels. Let's see that. So you can see space here. Let's give space in between here. Okay. So you can call this span tag, or you can call the SVG. You can also reduce the SVG from here, or you can reduce the SVG from here, whichever one works for you. So if I should decide to reduce it from here, and let's say 18 pixels, you can see there's a width and a height there, or 18 pixels. Let's see how that is. Oh, what is that? Okay, you can see it has reduced. Let's give it 20 again. His network is back. I was wondering so 20 pixels. Oh, I wrote pixels twice. So I think this is fine. So you can try to style it, reduce the size here. You can come here and style SVG, and you can style it. You can see SVG is a tag. You just call SVG instead of doing .svg because it's not a class name. So I might want to just give a little space here. So I can call the span tag, and I can just do a little bit of margin left, maybe 2 pixels just here. So let's just do that. So it's under btn. I can just call the span tag since it's just one span that is there. So I'll know span, and I'll just do a margin left of 3 pixels. So you can see there's a space here. Alright, and let's make it, let's add the cursor. That's on btn 1. So I can add the cursor pointer. Alright, so there we go, and we are done. Oh, simple, right? Hmm? Okay, and the can you say for everything? And this still remains this as this, and this. Can I take it back? Don't snap my code.
No, so that I don't
Oh, no, that means okay. I'll still give it this. It's very long, though. How will you snap everything?
like I'll snap and reach one part, not against.
Okay, that means I should still make it bigger.
Now you make it bigger.
I'll snap it and put it. No, I'll snap it and put it on the Slack. Yeah, I'll snap it and paste it there, so that it'll be clearer there. Abi? Which one do you used to use? Classroom. Okay, I'll paste it on both. So the first one, copy. Oh, okay. This want me to save. Probably I have to save it. So let me paste it first and save. So save as one. can go and attach it there. So browse. Okay, so name is snipe there. Okay, that's stuff. I'll save it. So I have to be Juliet. So let's snipe this. So copy this. Then I'll save. Save as, so save this as code 2. So let me add it here. The code. The code though, it said he wants the code, so let me just do it straight. Yes.
Yeah, no, you want copy. It's not about copy. Once you know this thing, I used to snap it, but one of the things too much, that was an enemy. So I'm not to see
Voila, this. And the last one here.
Can I read this? That's in this box. The laptop copy.
Copy. So I can send this one here.
I don't come as I was
Save as code 3. So I can cancel this. Code 3. Can't post. Okay, I'll do one after the other. Oh, because I didn't write something. Oh, so let me attach it back. Hey, do you have any question? All right. Now only know the assignment. How will you now understand it better? You know the assignment help you to understand it better. How will you teach yourself? You just gonna be looking at it. You have to practice now. If not, it will not stick. So don't worry, you expect your assignments. So I've pasted it on the classroom and on Slack. Since there's